Hello, fellow explorers. It's Rebecca, trauma and anxiety specialist. Today, in this episode, we're going to venture into an often underestimated realm of mental health, and it's the subtle signs of trauma-induced anxiety. We're going to have a look at some of the most common but often overlooked signs of trauma-induced anxiety. For those who are new, welcome. I'm Rebecca, your ally in this complex journey towards understanding trauma. Anxiety, especially the variety that's rooted in trauma, is an expert at disguising itself. It weaves its way into our lives very subtly but often persistently. It influences our thoughts, our emotions, and even our actions, how we behave in our relationships. So today we're going to lift the veil on some of these signs of trauma-induced anxiety. So first up, I'm going to have a mention and a look at this one particular sneaky symptom, and it's the incessant pursuit of perfection. That perfection is driven by maybe an underlying fear of losing control. Imagine feeling like you're a puppeteer, just desperately trying to manage all the aspects of your life with precise control, and all from this fear that a single loose string could bring everything crashing down. And that kind of leads nicely into this other common experience, and that's the excessive busyness that some of us can engage in. There's often an underlooked sign of trauma-induced anxiety. If you do this yourself, you might find yourself juggling too many tasks, filling up your day to the brim to keep your mind off thoughts. In reality, this hyperactivity could be a coping mechanism as a way to dodge uncomfortable feelings that anxiety brings to the surface. But anxiety can wear a different mask altogether for some people. And that brings us to this next one on difficulty initiating tasks due to anxiety. This can be mistaken for procrastination, and it takes a little bit more insight to differentiate between the two. But if you've ever felt like you're standing at the edge of a very high dive, kind of paralysed by what feels like an invisible force, then you might have met this phase of anxiety before. And that leads on to another common struggle, and it's struggling to complete tasks that you've started. Sometimes they may be experienced back to back on the same day, these two. Imagine trying to complete something, even though you know it's so important, and you maybe been struggling to initiate this for so many days or weeks, but it's been like stuck in that loop of unfinished stuff. It might confuse you, might create anxiety in and of itself, having all these things unfinished. So listening to these so far, I invite you to reflect on your average day and to notice if any of these or multiple of them. Sometimes it's a common experience to ping pong between several of these throughout the day. There are more of these, but I don't see a purpose in overwhelming and going into all of them in one video. But rather, maybe just sticking with these, doing little bite-sized chunks and thinking these are all ways that I'm at war with myself, this feeling of war, struggle, fighting, trying to maintain some kind of calm, fighting to feel at ease. All of these bring a sense of struggle or war within you. It might be toward yourself. You might feel it's at war against the world or things that you have to do, or perhaps even people. So notice where you're at war with things. And consider that in this perspective, what we actually need is to slow things down. Sometimes we have to slow things down in order for things to speed up. It's one of these ironic life principles that doesn't surprise me now how often it's actually useful. So if you experience any of these, try toying around with anything that encourages a moment of slowing things down. That be your thoughts, if your mind's racing. Take a breath and slow things down. Slow the body down. Listen to what's in your environment just for a moment. Take in your surroundings and notice the difference that can make. So simple and subtle, but has an infinite ripple effect on your day. The more you take a moment to slow things down. And you might be surprised at the change you can feel just doing that. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. Drop a comment below what you think about this audio only upload. And as always, take care. I'll see you in the next one.